You're listening to Discover Stories on Reimagine Radio, brought to you by the Vancouver Adapted Music Society. To learn more about accessible music programs and opportunities, please visit our website at vams.org. That's www.vams.org. Now let's get into today's episode. So, I know you're a performer yourself. I've seen some of your work at the VAMS session a couple weeks ago. Love it. How did that experience influence the way you advocate for accessibility in music spaces? I know you talked about the festivals and the concerts, but is there something else that you kind of didn't mention yet?
Yeah. So it's really cool because it's a creative outlet that you have where you could say what's on your mind in that way. In my way, it's I write lyrics and then I scream into them like for half an hour.
Love
and
it.
that's my outlet, and I could get words out and ideas and what I'm thinking or what I'm battling with, and that's pretty kind of powerful. And when you write a song or you write lyrics, it's a release because you've been mulling over this idea of like why, for me, some of my content is just like, why is it so hard in this society to live with a disability? And those frustrations with how society is around you and how you see all this kind of you see how people with disabilities are treated, and you want to get those thoughts and you want to express them to a wider audience or just yourself, really, and like topics that people may not know about, and you as a disabled person live it each and every day, and you want to express those issues to people so they can understand and kind of join you and be in solidarity with you. So for me, I love it because it's a way for me to advocate about the issues in society that people are facing, and there needs to be like more done for artists with disabilities, because their voices and their music and their art brings a whole another dimension to life, really. So yeah, I think it's really important for people to listen to that. And music is, again, a great way to express like your ideas yourself, and also like political ideologies that are affecting like today's society.
Yeah, wow. What a beautiful way to, amplify not only your voice, but voices of others in the community. And definitely a great way to advocate. And hopefully, our listeners hearing your story is inspired to write their own songs and, sing their own stories as well. Thank you. So Dan, what role do you think community plays in both music and disability fairness? And how can inclusive festivals foster that connection more intentionally?
So I think, community plays a huge role.
Mm-hmm.
I shout out bands for that, because bands enables the disabled people to be a part of the community and make music. And not only it's hard to get into music in the first place for anyone, but you know and you see the barriers of society, and it just makes it 100 times harder. That's not a real statistic.
It's okay, we can pretend that it is.
But it makes it way harder for people to access it. These foundations or organizations or even just grassroots projects really bring community together. And the important thing that I'm always aware of and I always aim to do is try and root it in disability justice and how we can make a community for ourselves and not strive to constantly fight to be in spaces that we were excluded from. Because I think, building grassroots movements that are strong are the way forward, because I find we're not. It's hard to work in the spaces that have historically excluded people of any minority, and trying to make differences in those spaces are really, really hard. So I think, having a grassroots, person to person movement that is rooted in disability justice really can help a lot of these different communities and these spaces grow. So I think, for me, I would love to work with just smaller festivals that are more grassroots, more community driven, because that's where you'll start to notice change more. It's if there's a community, whether it's in a town or something like that, where it's a festival that's been running for 30 years or so, you're gonna have more community support if there are there's gonna be more community support for people with disabilities or in minorities to kind of change these spaces so they could have access to these spaces.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I hope by, having these conversations and such platforms like this, or, going out there and advocating for this, will bring these changes. And especially like we talked about in community, that brings the sense of belonging and the sense of I'm part of something greater than myself. And so definitely I think these grassroots initiatives can foster a strong community. So yeah, you're also on the board for Festival and Event Accessibility Project. What kind of policy changes or government standards do you think are most urgently needed in Canada at the live events at the moment?
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, another board that I sit on is a project called the Festival and Event Accessibility Project that is run by Independent Living Canada.
Okay.
And that project is funded by Accessibility Standards Canada. So once this project is done, hopefully this is going to help set some national standards that people could use, and they're standards, but there are not like, oh, you have to do this. But what I would say is like having these government policies are really, really good and really urgent and need to happen. But you can never beat lived experience and the knowledge that comes with having a disability, and the knowledge of other people that have been doing this work in this space for a long time, and there's always stuff to learn and new things coming out where that these standards would be great as a starting point for people to expand on and to kind of make, because every festival and every event is going to be different. So having kind of ideas and people working who have disabilities at these like festivals and events are going to be huge, because they could help implement these guidelines and more. So yeah, I'm really excited for this project, especially because like the Accessible Canada Act only came into play in 2019.
Oh wow, so recent.
Yeah, it's pretty soon.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty like recent. I mean, and their plan is for like local Canada to become barrier free by 2040, which like it's gonna be like for me personally, I know a lot of other people. I don't feel that we should look at it as we're going to reach this magical utopia where everything is accessible and for everyone, because that's unrealistic. There's a lot of things to do, and it's constantly changing. So to kind of have that mind where, oh, we're going to reach 2040 and we're going to be done. This is an amazing feat. It's like there's going to be still work to be done after that time, and like I doubt that there's going to be. I'm like 99.9% sure that Canada isn't going to be fire free by that point. But yeah, these standards will definitely help. So.
Yeah, I definitely think that these standards can act as a great guideline, like you said, and also like you said, I don't anticipate that as well, but because of how the world is changing, and you know we need to adapt to certain needs, and needs keep changing and technology keeps changing. So I think it might just be a work in progress, but I think as long as we're working towards that quote unquote euphoric place, that would be the best situation for everyone. All right. So outside of music, you're involved in baking, nature, traveling with your partner. How do these aspects of your life ground you in the work that you do?
So, yeah, I uh, I love baking. I was on the baking trend before the pandemic hit, which it was wild because back in Ontario where I used to live, I had like a flower supplier.
Oh, wow.
When like the pandemic hit, they were like, like all our stuff is sold out.
Yeah, because everyone got into baking during the pandemic.
Yeah, so I was like, oh no, what are we gonna do?
Oh no.
I like baking because like for me it's very like methodical and very kind of steady. It's not like the urgency of cooking. And you make delicious things.
What's your favorite thing to bake?
I haven't done it in a while, but I normally bake like sourdough bread.
Ooh, that's a skill.
It takes so long, but like even come close to a good loaf of bread, you're like for ages you're stuck with like just flat pieces of bread.
Oh.
But I like that, and I like baking. I've got this like double chocolate cookie recipe, which is like it's really those are my favorite. But you eat them quite fast.
That sounds amazing. Now I want a chocolate chip cookie.
Yeah, and then nature, like I love gardening as well. So I go like I used to go garlic, and it's cool. Like I'm getting involved with the Disability Independent Gardens Association.
Oh, lovely.
I'll have a plot for the summer. So yeah, and then me and my partner love exploring and crafting and just being outside. So we kind of love taking road trips and going for camp. Yeah, I just love that. Love it.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. So, Dan, we will have to wrap up here. I just wanted to close off by just asking for our young disabled individuals dreaming of careers in music or media, what advice would you give them, especially when navigating in industries that they haven't been a part of or been inclusive?
Yeah, that's a really interesting question. I would say it takes a lot of energy, but it's like even though things may take longer, it's the consistency of the work that you put in. And if you believe you can do it, you can do it. My thing is just like say to yourself, I am gonna do this. I don't know how just yet, but let me networking and finding spaces that I think would be good for me. And like again, like everyone is different. So your experience as a person with a disability is way different than another person with a disability, and how like they interact with music or media. So I find like use that lived experience definitely to your advantage and really kind of be stubborn, and it's scary, but like to the point, and never settle for less. And you've only got to prove it to yourself. Like, don't ever try and prove what you can do for others, because what I find, that's never enough for people. So just and then people will see that, like, and be like, oh, like, damn, they're doing this, they're doing what they set out to do.
Right.
Never like have your principles. Never depart from your principles. If you've got a strong conviction, never depart from that. If opportunities seem good, like, but your principles don't align with them, there will be other opportunities that come up.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for sharing that, and I hope our listeners can hear that and get some, inspiration from that. All right, so I'm gonna wrap it up here. Thank you so much for joining us today. Really appreciate all your insights. That was very informative and very fun.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course.
It's been awesome.
Yay.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm excited.
I'm excited too. Thanks for tuning in to Discover Stories on Reimagine Radio. If you enjoy our content, please support us by subscribing to the YouTube channel or following us on Spotify. See you in the next episode.